What's good, YouTube? Zap here, and as per the title of the video, I'm going to be discussing Nintendo. Now, there's a huge reason why I typically don't talk about Nintendo in my videos, and that's because I have not owned a Nintendo system home console since the N64. So I've never really felt like I should give any sort of like insight to it on a YouTube video. I talked about it on the side with some of my friends, but I've never really discussed Nintendo. Um, in video format. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of that today. Now, what exactly caused the disconnect between me and Nintendo? Why is it that I have not owned a Nintendo system since the N64? Well, the answer to that is very simple, and that's that Nintendo, while I have, gotten older and my taste changed, Nintendo pretty much stayed in their lane and they didn't really adapt to what gamers were, starting to get into. They didn't adapt to the interests of gamers as they got older. They kind of catered to a certain age group and demographic and never really, you know, expanded on that. So, case in point, Nintendo puts up this really family-friendly image, and that's cool for them because it helped them, attract that casual market, and it was because of that casual market that the Nintendo Wii did such a bang up job. It dominated in sales over the Xbox 360 and the PS3 for so many years. So I completely understand why Nintendo, going from the Wii to the Wii U, had that mindset of, okay, we're gonna knock it out of the park one more time. We're gonna cater to the non gamers and the youngsters, and we're going to just make a killing this time around. But going into that with that mindset, you're trying to sell a new system to people that typically don't play games. So those people that did end up buying a Wii that didn't really, play games that much to begin with are probably looking at the Wii U like, oh, what's the reason why I should buy this one when I already have a Wii? Like, why should I, you know, invest in that? I don't need that. I'll just stick with what I have already. You're trying to sell a system to people that don't play games. That's an uphill battle. You understand what I mean? And then when you put so much time and effort into making a machine that doesn't do the things that other hardcore gaming machines do, you kind of just put yourself into a hole, right? You put yourself into a little bit of a corner. Let's just say corner, not hole, because hole sounds really bad. But you put yourself into a little bit of a corner because you've spent so much time and money and effort into making a machine that caters to this side of the fence. You completely alienated the other side. So a hardcore gamer, and even to an extent a hardcore Nintendo fan, can't really 100% back you, only because you're catering to the other side has kind of watered down your potentially good stuff. I'll use Splatoon as an example, right? Everyone knows about Splatoon. Anybody who's actually done any sort of research on Splatoon or Nintendo in general. Splatoon is Nintendo's first big multiplayer shooter, online multiplayer shooter. You play as like these squid kids, these inklings or whatever, and you go around the map in this versus multiplayer mode, and you try to cover up the entire battlefield with your team's ink color. So it's not really violent, it's not gratuitous or anything like that. No swearing or anything of the sort. It's a very family friendly game. It's a game that you can play in front of your kids, and you can actually let them play themselves, I should say. But the problem with that is that Nintendo, trying to maintain the family friendly image that they are, is eliminating voice chat, right? Because they don't want people's online experiences being tarnished by someone yelling or swearing in the microphone. Our game does not do that, so we don't want people to have to go through that. So there's no voice chat in the game. And with a game like that, where teamwork is going to be very key, right? And communication, it doesn't make sense for there not to be any. You understand what I'm getting at? And then you look at a game like Devil's Third. Devil's Third is going to be a mature rated game. That game also has cooperative, or not cooperative, but also has online multiplayer, which looks really cool. But I'm afraid because Nintendo has disabled voice chat in many of their games before. Take a game like Tekken Tag Tournament 2, the Wii U version. You cannot talk to people in game while you're playing. Now, if I'm playing my fighting games with my friends, one of the things I want to do to them, aside from bust their ass, is talk trash to them. You see where I'm getting at? So for Nintendo to just go ahead and just take out a feature that is so essential, it's become a staple in online games in this day and age. For them to take a simple feature such as voice chat away from gamers that play online multiplayer, it's ridiculous. And from what I understand, you can't even voice chat in games like Mario Kart online on the Wii U. You know what I mean? So Nintendo just seems to have this really weird like disconnect with the gamers and what is very important to an online demographic. Like I don't think Nintendo really cares about online at all, to be honest with you. The fact that they did not have an Ethernet port in the system, like you have to buy an adapter separately in order to play online on the Wii U with a stable connection, is crazy to me. I mean, you can use the wireless that's built into the system, that's fine, but if you want to play solid, like for fighting games, you know, or for shooters for that matter, you don't want to be lagging all over the place. You know, you want to have a solid internet connection. And let's face it, America's internet is butt cheeks. So if you got a bunch of butt cheeks internet being played on butt cheeks Wi-Fi, you're gonna have a bad time. So, oh man, Nintendo, I just don't know where their direction is at the moment. You know, it's definitely not in my direction. They have a certain amount of mature rated games on the system. Like I said, they got Devil's Third, they've got Bayonetta, and they've got Zombie U. You know, but they put them out, but they don't really get a whole lot of push and promotion and things like that. And then, you know, in the case of a game like Devil's Third, you know, you've got such a good concept of a game. It looks like legit fun. Devil's Third looks like a legitimately fun freaking game. But the fact that Nintendo has this track record of removing voice chat and things like that, and removing features that could make the game more viable and more of a necessity for a Nintendo Wii U owner, it just kind of makes me a little bit wary. So I don't know, man. That's one of the reasons why Nintendo just kind of lost me over the years. Is just their inability to kind of get with the times and cater to someone like me, who has gotten older, and you know whose tastes have started to evolve with the times. Um, and then another thing is like their whole issue with third-party titles. You know, Nintendo doesn't really seem to be getting any third-party support. You know, the latest Call of Duty didn't come out for it. The latest Madden didn't come out for it. I think the last real legit third-party game to come out for it was Just Dance 2015. Uh, and I think before that was just FIFA 15. I think FIFA 15 came out on the Wii U, I should say. So, no, actually, no, it did not. FIFA 15 did not come out on the Wii U. That sucks. Just Dance 2015 was the last legit like third party title. And you know, they're not getting things like Batman and um I think any EA title, they're not getting Battlefield Hardline or anything like that. Like the Wii U is not, and I mean it is not, a primary console to own by no stretch of the imagination. So I don't know, man. Nintendo just, they lost me. They're killing it in the handheld game. They're killing it in the handheld market. Like you cannot touch them. As much as I think the Vita is a good handheld, it cannot touch the what Nintendo does. You know, although I'm not really a big fan of the new 3DS, just because I think that was just kind of killing people's pockets. You know what I'm saying? And not bundling it with a charger, like having to buy that separately. That's kind of lame. But you know, Nintendo's killing it in the handheld market. But when it comes to home consoles, they're just like I don't know, their intentions seem to be all over the place in my opinion, and their direction is just really weird and off the wall. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I have. I don't know if I was I don't know if I was completely on topic the whole time, or if this even like made 100% sense. I'm like half asleep. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think about Nintendo and their Wii U and their direction over the years with their systems. Um, are you supporting Nintendo? Do you own a Wii U? Are you fully happy with your purchase? Let me know in the comments section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.